Alrighty, welcome back to the Jumpcast. So normally we would be having Dries, it'd be his turn to do the intro, but he could not make it. He is on a film set today, so I'm going to be taking over and doing it. So that means I'm also going to be taking over the editing, so quality might go down. I'm quite busy as well, so there won't be timestamps, sadly, but it should still be pretty easy and flow naturally like normal. So yeah, welcome back to episode 44 of the Jumpcast. This week, of course, since we said Dries isn't, the other Max isn't here, it's me, your host Max, joined with...
Nick, I'm here too.
Yeah.
Are we on episode 44?
44, yeah. We got to do something big for 50. That's coming up soon.
We do. I think that we're getting close to when we actually started the podcast.
Yes, so we'll have to do
Which is,
a special episode for that as well,
yeah.
which means almost a
Um,
year.
I know. I know. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, like a year ago, Maki was beating up Naoya,
Yeah.
and now we're here. Um, to Kashimo versus Kuna. Should I just jump straight into
Yeah.
it?
Well, I just quickly looked. We passed the date we first started. Our first one was
Oh.
uploaded on the 29th of September.
Oh wow.
So
So it literally is. This is the year
this is the year
of the
mark.
episode.
So yeah, I
Dang,
guess happy
this
1 year.
next week. Let's go. Happy 1 year. Um, back to old times. Okay, I'll just jump straight into it. So, we go back from how it was last week at the end of the chapter to Kashimo joining and going to the battlefield. The narrator's very heavy in this chapter, and it starts off with the narrator explaining that Arame shows up with a gigantic ice block above the battlefield. Um, and as she descends, the man with the uncreased foams, Hikari, jumps right above
The
her.
fresh
Um,
brought the fresh J's, the fresh Jordan ones to the
exactly,
fight, dude.
exactly. And so then Hikari, I'm assuming that this is a part of the binding vow that he made with Kashimo to let him fight Sukuna, that like he's letting him have the room for it. So he's fighting Urame as like a backup so that Urame doesn't cut into the fight. Um, and so then he shoots off his domain, the ice block falls down, and then we get to see one of Sukuna's uh, old Heian era weapons that we finally figured out what Yorozu's gift was. Um, and the name of this is really weird. It was way different in the fan translation, but it's this is Supreme Martial Solution.
Yeah.
Um,
It
uh,
sounds like an ability in like D&D or something.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. And it literally, uh, the community's already going crazy saying it's a baby
Yeah, it's
round.
a
It's
baby rat. I was about to say something about that too.
it's just like a dagger that can shoot lightning, which clearly on the next page on page 8, it has no effect on Kashimo because of his uh, curse energy trait of electricity. Then Kashimo starts throwing out the question, did you become the strongest sorcerer or were you born that way? Uh, then Sukuna says like, but I bet I was a creepy kid, which is different again from the fan translation. They said that he was an unwanted child.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then Kashimo is explaining his burden of feeling the strongest. He feels like he can't connect with anyone, so he's asking Sukuna how he feels around that. Then Sukuna says that he's a greedy bastard, and just Gojo was the exact same. So come on, bring it on. Uh, and then we get into them fighting, which is a great sequence in my opinion of Kashimo just jumping in, trying to hit him with the staff. He blocks it with the dagger, and then he just says, "You know what? Screw it. I don't need the staff," and just goes straight into his curse technique. Um, Mythical Beast Amber, again, weird name, uh, and we just see Kashimo kind of dog on Sukuna and then have a cannon form out of his mouth. Um, I'm just going to be reading straight from this. His ability is that he can reconstruct himself to manifest any phenomena just with his curse energy, and it looks sick. It looks so good. I love
Yeah.
that there's like curse energy flames just coming off of him.
I'd
Um,
like to imagine, like, because you say it's electricity. I mean, it's probably just cursed energy, but I'd like to think it was like actually electricity, like forming
yeah,
on his
just
body.
coming off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and so then he starts just trying to dog on Sukuna, and he what I forgot this whole paragraph that goes on. What the hell? Um, just basically it's an amp. It's what we knew right from the beginning, but just with like a little bit more. Like he's faster, he's stronger, he can vaporize stuff.
But not exactly what
Which
we
was
expected the amp to be like.
yeah, yeah, that's like the one part that's a little bit different. And then he shoots lightning at Sukuna. It hits, but um Sukuna in that brief moment right before he got hit transformed back to his old self. Like he did the thing that like he was talking to Yorozu about, just like you didn't switch back to your original form. He did that now. Um, and so then yeah, that was like the end of the chapter. Uh, Pruden, what do you want to cover about this?
Well, just switching back to, I know you and me had talked about it briefly, I think over text, like right when the leaks came out, um,
Mhm.
about Megami being gone. I think I'm saying at least 80 to 90% that Megami's gone. Like, it's gonna be very hard, especially like, because my thing with Sukuna is like his hair changed back. He's got like the weird like tree stone thing on him. He's got his forearms again, of course, and like I don't know if you noticed, like on his belly button, he's kind of got his mouth thing. It looked like he used to have.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't realize
yeah, that
that.
little black line is kind of like a
Yeah.
mouth. So my thing is kind of just like I don't want to say Megami's gone, but I'm kind of like accepting the fact
Towards it.
that
Yeah.
if he doesn't come back, I like Megami as a character. I think his curse technique is one of my favorites, but I'm like, if he doesn't come back, I am not. I'm not surprised. I'd like to see him,
Yeah.
but again, if he
Yeah.
comes back, he's probably going to be a vegetable after tanking, what, three,
3 or 4
five
void.
unlimited voids? Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and purple hollows and blues and reds. Like it's
What is it? I think that he only got hit with the one unlimited void that pulled out Maharaga.
But still, he's
Um
like, even though he's a sorcerer. Like, I mean, he's still compared to everyone else. He's a normal person. Like, and we've
yeah.
seen like he kind of just the last time we really saw a manga panel of him after his sister, he kind of just gave up. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um I'm kind of in that boat too of like Megami's gone, but I don't know, not really. It really depends on how this fight shapes up, because like we're right at the beginning again. Like
yeah,
how I'm taking is that like Sukuna, he probably can't do reverse curse technique again now. Um, but he just reformed his body back so that he had the forearms to fight. Um, but yeah, I think it'd be really weird to see how Megami takes back the body. Like there's just a chance that he comes back with the four arms and the four eyes.
it's gonna be even
I
cooler. It's
hope
like a tension. He could like make two. He could make two of his oh my gosh, like Shikigami come out at a time. He could do like two
yeah,
hands, two
I
different
think
hand
that'd be
signs.
really cool. Yeah.
But the one thing,
Whatever Shikigami are remaining.
I think, well, there's probably only like 4 or 5.
Like 2 or 3 now, I think.
But I was kind of hoping if we were seeing the original Sukuna form come back, we'd get to see Yuji because, we saw Yuji win against someone with 4 arms before, so I was hoping we'd get to see the 2 versus 4 showdown again. But
Yeah,
I think we'll just
yeah,
have to wait a little
the
bit.
hype that people put behind that. Yeah.
So, but I'm excited to see. I don't think after immediately using his technique, I don't think Kashimo is going to become fodder. I have seen a lot of people saying that. I hope he's not, because like I know you really like Kashimo. I really like Kashimo as of recently because I reread the Hikari and Kashimo fight, and I was like,
It's
oh
so good.
damn! I'm
It's
like,
so good.
yes, this is not a Han era sorcerer, but like, oh my god, like he's using his technique.
I think he has that capability
I
though.
think I think at least to put up a good fight because I think we originally we were thinking, oh, it'd be so funny if like Kashima was all talk and he just got nanade on immediately after fighting Sukuna. I hope he doesn't. Um,
Yeah.
because I'm really interested to see exactly like how he's gonna use his technique because yes, he's known of his technique, but he's never used it. I'm pretty sure. Like we said he can only use it once.
I yeah, I have a feeling that he had to he had to use it sometime in his previous life, and I feel like it didn't have the like the same like dramatic effect because like he wasn't going all out.
Hmm.
But I do think that it did using
Maybe
Kashimo in the old area is
maybe
like
with that
what
scene of
prompted
him
him
and
more.
Kenjaku talking, that's him. That was him using it because he coughed up blood
Yeah.
afterwards.
Or like he used it when he was really young and he realized like, oh, that was so easy. I can never do this again.
Yeah,
So
kind
then
of
he like really wanted to use its
like Nanami
potential.
putting like a mental nerf on himself.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Um, yeah, like a binding vow, something equivalent to that.
yeah,
Um, but um, I really don't feel like he'll be fodder after this because like people need to remember and like put this into perspective of just like the fact that he didn't use his curse technique and he was able to keep up with Hikari and Hikari had to move his domain to like an overseas area to give Kashimo the disadvantage. And even then, uh if Hikari didn't know how to do a binding vow, he would have been dead there. Like it was a really neck and neck fight, and that was without his curse technique amping him. So
yeah.
just imagine him here,
And I
like what
think
he's capable of doing.
personally, I want to say like Hikari without a jackpot is like a semi grade one, maybe a grade one.
I would put him on grade one. I'd like put him on the equivalent of like Toto without using Boogie Woogie.
Exactly. And then when he uses his jackpot, I think he's a high grade one, maybe even supreme grade one. What are they calling the anime now? They're calling it like a special grade one. I think they
So that
renamed.
one,
Yeah.
that's like a bunch of different stuff that we learned. So like special grade one, is in regards of like it's called special because it's not someone that normally goes on jujutsu missions.
Oh,
So
okay.
like it's called special because they're a special recruitment.
Hmm.
So like that's what they did with like Naobito, and I think that exception there was he was supposed to be the person that was watching over uh
It was
Nobara and
Nobara and
Maki
Maki, I think.
because they
Yeah.
got promoted to grade one. So like he was their special advisor. Um,
But he is a
but like
supreme. Technically, you'd call him a supreme grade one, though.
yeah, I would put Hikari on special grade now with like if he gets a jackpot.
Just a
Um,
plain old special grade. You think? You're thinking?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Um, just because like again, that's I'm gonna believe you gotta believe what Yuta says, dude. Out of anyone,
Well,
he's
Utah's
saying that
just
like
really
he's
humble
gonna
too.
ramp up.
Like, but yes,
But he's not though. That was like another thing that a TikToker pointed out. Like he's not humble. The fact that he said that he'll kill Kenjaku himself, like he's not gonna let Gojo do that. I don't feel like
true.
that's a humble. That's
Yeah.
not it. That's just like a straight up, like he knows how strong he is,
Mhm.
um, and he understands like curse techniques pretty well. Like the fact of like he was the one that was reacting to the reverse curse technique on like when Gojo was healing his brain and everything, like he was freaking out.
Yeah.
Um, so I would put Hikari up there,
You would? Okay.
um, because like the special case is that he was fighting Kashimo, which Kashimo thinks that he can stack up to Sukuna. Um, I that's my best way to explain it is that like Kashimo thinks that he's got these hands,
Yeah.
and the fact that he was able to keep up with him, I feel like is a good example of how strong Hikari is.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was able almost immediately to land two. What is it? Two, three good punches, and then his technique immediately on him. Like,
Yeah, and like if he hit him while he was still in like Megumi's form, like
I think
oh
on page 16, if he hit him there, I think
yeah,
Sukuna would have taken a lot of damage, and it would have been a very close fight. It would have been probably
yeah,
we would have seen this chapter would have ended.
yeah, like
I'd love
Kashimo
to
would
see if he beat him here. Like, yeah, Sukuna's been fighting Gojo, but like, if he lost, if he Megumi Sukuna lost right there, and then Kashima was like, well, like, really? This is what Kenjaku
that
called the
was it.
strongest guy ever. That was it.
Yeah.
um,
I think also a big factor on why he's okay with jumping in right afterwards. Well, I'm sure that he actually knew that fact with Sukuna as well, that he could like transform. But like I think that Kashimo knew how strong he wasn't compared to Sukuna when they were going right before the first domain expansion.
Hmm.
Um, because like Kashimo is just like they're perfect. They're so awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, when they're explaining like his usage of cursed energy and everything like that. Like what is it, 226? So like 10 chapters before.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, 225 even. But yeah. Uh, another thing to say is uh uh what do you think the chances are that like Kenjaku just comes by and just like takes Gojo and
Takes
Sukuna
his
into the
body.
background?
Yeah.
This is a nice little snag.
Nice little snare. Um, Hold on, sorry, I got a cough.
That's all good.
Sorry. Yeah, my voice is back finally too. So I'm not. I don't sound like a chain smoker anymore. Just for the audience. The audience probably realized that. But um, maybe Kenjaku comes and makes a guest appearance. Could be really
Yeah.
cool. But I'm assuming no. I think he's biding his time. Maybe he's actually getting prepped for Yuta and Maki maybe going after him.
Yeah, I think that well, like as we talked about last chapter, like he's not watching the fight. He's going on his own crap because like he has everything set up. He's just having Sukuna stall for him.
Yeah, I'm um I'm holding out hope that next time we see Kenjaku interact with the main cast, um, him and Yuji have some sort of conversation because Yuji had that vision. Um, we forever ago, right after Shibuya, where we
Mhm.
knew his mom was Kenjaku. Um,
Yeah.
I want to see him and Kenjaku actually talk about it.
Hmm.
Um, so that
So
scene where he sees like we're about to talk about the
look
world to
towards
come.
these
The world.
hands.
He's like, yeah, or maybe Kenjaku knows what Yuji's technique actually is, and he's the one that reveals it. Like he's like basically, I bred you to have this
This
technique.
curse technique.
Like,
That would be fun.
yeah.
Um, yeah. I mean, we still need to see it be thrown out. We have to. So many things have to be done first.
Like I was
Um,
really hoping that Kashimo and Yuji were gonna team up to fight Sukuna. That's what I was hoping would be the fight. I think, like their battle, how they fight can be pretty similar. I mean, we really only saw um, Kashimo throw these hands in his last fight. But
yeah.
like, I was thinking those two together would have been such a cool fight to see, especially against someone like Sukuna.
Yeah, it would just it's the whole issue of like Kashimo is like the like don't interfere. This is a one-on-one fight.
Yeah, and we
But
like
it would make for an
Hakari. Like
exciting fight.
he does.
But this
Like
is
Hakari doesn't seem like he wants to be there.
it's more of a promise, I think.
Yeah, because he's like, I made a
Like that's what he
promise.
says. Just like I promised that I'd stop ya. Like he it's a whole binding vow thing
Yeah,
in order to get those 100
I think that's
points.
especially like because he's like, I gotta stop you. I don't want to be here, so I'm gonna throw out my domain right away.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
do you think I
Well, it's
have?
also
Yeah,
because he knows that he needs his domain in order to compete with Arame.
yeah. Which I'd love to see if his technique. I want to see actually Hakari's technique. Because someone I saw a theory that it's kind of like the one dude that had like the side ponytail and the katana that was like had a hand on it. Of like luck. It like he can store up luck.
Well, the domain is his curse technique,
Okay.
like that's what Kusakabe said, like, because like when they're talking about Gojo being able to like mess around with his domain and make it smaller than the two actual combatants,
Mm-hmm.
and like be able to like change it on a scale like that, like Higuruma and Hakari are like, wait, what? That's not easy to do, and then like Kusakabe is like, that's ingrained into your guys' techniques. That's
Mm-hmm.
why it's so easy for you guys to
Uh,
pull off. Um, but I know that Hikari can like pull out pieces of it, like the love train, because when he first fought Yuji, he close pinned him with two subway doors.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
um,
that's good to know.
yeah. I'm trying to think of what else to cover. Um, I'm
I'm
really happy that I hate how much copium the whole community had. Like somebody photoshopped Gojo coming back, which was so
Yeah,
stupid.
like I saw like this someone recreated the Honored One panel, but it's like half of Gojo. I was
Yeah.
like, no,
And it's like, just stop it.
just
Just,
let him die.
yeah, the guy's gone. Just
Yeah.
let him be. This is Kashima's turn. Um, I'm wondering if next chapter we're either gonna have, because now we actively do have two fights going on, whether we're gonna focus on Urame and Hikari or um, Kashimo and
I would love to see Hikari's domain, like the bubble, go away, and then right when Kashima activates his technique and does the giant sound blast, and both Hikari and Urame like look at like what the hell just happened? Like what?
yeah. Well, I want Arame to look down and just be like, "Oh no, is Sukuna okay?" And then just Hikari starts wailing on her, like she deserves this. She needs this coming to her.
Well, because she even
Uh,
stated she's I don't know if still is, but she was like still not completely healed from when Gojo
yeah, when
that one
Gojo hit her.
punch. So
Yeah, and it took over 2 months. Um, my my best bet also because like they were talking about like they had a plan of like they're not gonna jump in unless both Sukuna and Gojo were weaker than the rest of the cast.
mm,
Um, which like Kashimo was hiding his curse technique real well because I feel like that's really a really strong curse technique that I don't think like Hikari or Yuta would have been able to handle. I think what it was is that Kashimo and Hikari were gonna jump in next, and then Yuta is saving himself for Kinjaku.
yeah,
I think that that was the whole thing, and so then he was trying to break the plan initially by saying like, I'm gonna go interfere in the fight. Gojo needs a little bit more of an upper hand again. Um,
because with Yuta, I think maybe when he says I'm going to kill Kenjaku, what if he made a binding vow there? Because we've seen him already make a binding vow to kill someone. I mean, he was kind of forced to with Yuji, but what if we see him make that again?
um, yeah, I mean, maybe it may be a thing that like he is like stored his curse energy well until like he fights Kenjaku and then it like amps up again.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean that would be a good binding vow or just a good curse if Yuta ends up losing. I don't think he would, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I know I briefly
Um,
told you this theory. So we'll go back to Kinjaku or not Kinjaku, Sukuna for a second. So, you remember how everyone was saying, just I mean, because originally because they had the same color hair, like Sukuna and Yuji were related somehow. So
mm,
if you take a side by side of there's one panel in particular everyone brings to attention about this of Sukuna, like Sukuna's face, um, and
yeah.
you put it next to his grandpa, Yuji's grandpa. They look very similar. So there's a theory. I know I briefly talked to you about it. Um,
Mm,
Sukuna was a twin because originally a lot of people were buying into this when the leaks came out because it's like I don't know, I wasn't loved by a kid and said he's like I don't know, I was a creepy kid. Um,
yeah, for clarification, the fan translation said that Sukuna
yeah.
was an unwanted child, so it's different from how it is now, but
So what if it's like
uh,
the twin situation where Sukuna got a technique, he got cursed energy. What if he took both and his twin was the first heavenly restriction? That's what I'm adding on to. Like, was born and became the first heavenly restriction. Of course, it probably wasn't as fully realized as Toji or Maki. Um, and then his descendants, his twins' descendants, turned into um, the Yuji's family. Because you had mentioned similar, it's kind of similar to um, uh, what's the Yodorichi and
I know what you're talking about,
from
like
Demon
the
Slayer, like similar to that
yeah,
kind of like family tree
yeah,
change.
Upper Moon 1 and then Yoriichi, like
Yeah,
the first like the sun breathing.
and then there's the
Um
guy that's the misbreathing that's related to him. So something similar to that, maybe.
I could buy that. The one thing that I'm thinking that it could be, I personally don't think it would be the twin situation just because as like Mai explained, like twins in Jujutsu law are considered one being, so that's why
Mm,
like that's the whole thing of like why Mai chose to die. It's because Maki wanted to grow and Mai didn't. Mai was fine being like obedient to the Jujutsu system. That's why she like gave up everything and took the curse energy so that Maki could be fully realized. I think just another way that it could have gone is that um do you remember in like the most recent like when they go back to like the Gojo ghetto arc with
Mm,
Toji and everything,
hmm.
there's the one guy that like the old dude that had Shikigami that fought Ghetto, and like he
Yes.
said like my family didn't like me because I could see cursed spirits. I feel like it could be something similar to that, where like Sukuna could see cursed spirits, and then the rest of his family is like, the fuck?
What
I'm an
are you?
insane kid.
Yes.
Abandon that crap. Which is just like another curse on top of him, and then he ended up being the strongest. Um, but there is some form of lineage there. Um, because I feel like that could also be an option. Um, and then just like Kenjaku, as Sukuna said, like he's a nasty guy. He
Yeah.
found the rest of his bloodline and then like started experimenting with them to create Yuji. Um, there was also a theory that I saw that Yuji is already as strong as Toji and Maki, but he just has cursed energy, which I would like to believe that, but I don't know how much I would.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just by the fact that he can already see like this soul before he was possessed by Sukuna. Um, that's like my only reasoning behind it
Hmm.
because I can't think of anything else.
No, it's on the
Um,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm for how much I don't think that's gonna happen, I'm just gonna go with that theory because I'm sure that Kenjaku will finally get into it eventually. Um, one of my coworkers also said that with Kashimo entering the fight, this is time to give Sukuna like a little bit more of a backstory
Hmm.
to see like what he actually is as a character. Um, I don't want it to be like the oh poor him.
Yeah.
I really want it just to be like he realized what he was from the beginning and just
I want
started
yeah.
wreaking havoc.
I want to go down. There's two routes I think Sukuna's backstory could go down that could be really good. There's the one of like I don't like I'm like you. I don't want the sob story. I want him to just come out. He was just insane from the start.
Yeah,
Or like what Bleach did with Aizen. They just didn't give Aizen just doesn't have a backstory. Like no one knows his motivation behind what he's doing really. And I think that's kind of like I think that's kind of more fun. I think that'd be the Aizen route would be better suited for maybe Kenjaku as a character, but that's just me. Yeah, those are my two kind of thought process on his
yeah.
backstory.
Mhm. I uh I can see that. I personally just don't want a big like backstory behind either of the villains at this point. Like even the community agreed with it when we finally got a snippet that he was an unwanted child. Like the community goes wah wah,
Yeah, womp
shut up.
womp.
Yeah, womp womp. Um, so yeah, that's just how I see that going. But maybe we'll get a little bit more of a backstory.
If
We'll
we do,
see.
we do. If we don't, we don't.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. It's not we're not the ones writing this story, so we don't get to decide.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I'm trying to think. Yeah, we both said
I
that at
don't
the
know.
same time. What do you think will happen next chapter?
I honestly, I hope the Sukuna Kashimo fight. I hope it leaves this cliffhanger for a bit, and we go see what's going on inside the domain. Um,
I agree with that
because I think
as
it'd be
well.
funny, like yeah, Kashimo when he got reincarnated maybe found some modern world stuff, but like imagine you're just some dude from I don't even remember era, but the era that Kashimo's from, and this dude comes out and just slot machines, just like information
Yeah,
overload. Like basically, it's unlimited void, like look wise to Kashimo. I want to see Urame's reaction to his domain.
yeah. I I agree that I want to cut to Hikari and Arame's fight just because um, I feel like we've seen Sukuna for a bit much. Um, I, I wouldn't be disappointed. I just feel like it'd be a nice change of pace to see. Um, I agree that I want to cut to Hikari and Arame's fight just because. I feel like we've seen Sukuna for a bit much.
Right now, I'm more thinking Hikari's gonna be interesting to watch. I want to see Kashimo fight, but it's Sukuna. We've seen Sukuna fight for the past 3 months. Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't be disappointed. I just feel like it'd be a nice change of pace to see. Um, what's my best way to put it? Because sadly, I don't think Kashimo's gonna
No.
lose, but I feel like I feel like it's gonna be the same case that Gojo had, where it's just like, okay, we chipped him down real hard. Like he got like
Now it's
Gojo got
Yuji's
rid of the
turn.
10
Like, yeah.
shadows. Yeah, exactly. Like Yuji or like whoever else. Like I still want to see Maki fight one more time. I feel like that'd be sick. Um, but what it is, I want it to go back to Hikari and Arame because I feel like in that fight, Hikari's gonna win. It's gonna be like a really tough and close one, but I feel like Hikari can pull through on that one.
Mm.
So then we get like one victory on that side, then another failure on the other side with Kashimo losing, but also like destroying Sukuna's body. Like he's in not a good shape to
It'd be
fight.
cool to see him lose an
Um,
arm or something. Yeah, like Sukuna to lose one of his arms or.
I would like to see Sukuna lose like three of his arms.
Yeah.
Like I could see that happening. But then also in that same time, like boom, Kashimo's gone too. I feel like we could also see Sukuna somehow get his spear again and just like be that classic old Heian era. Um, which I mean, it'd be really fun if the spear actually was the inverted spear of heaven. I don't
Yeah.
think it is, but I think it would have been fun.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, that's how I want it to shape up. I wanna see a win on the hero side.
Hmm.
Um, and then we see Kashimo die. Um, how long do you think that the Sukuna and Kashimo fight could last? Like how many months? Because this fight was way long. The Gojo Sukuna fight was way longer than I expected. It was still good, but it was just longer than I expected.
Chapter wise, I'd say maybe max I'd want to see is like
Mhm.
6. So maybe a month, month and a half, pushing it maybe 2. I
Yeah,
we've been had the past 3 months. We've been eating good with this Gojo Sukuna fight. I want to go back to
yeah,
see Yuji, like, like, um, almost everyone that was watching that fight has been, or I should say, almost going on a limb here. Everyone in the story of Jujutsu Kaisen has been affected by Gojo. I want to see that impact of him gone, like what that's doing to our main cast. Because like, Kashimo didn't really know Gojo. Hikari, maybe Gojo helped him out or something, but like, he's moving on already. Yuta
yeah.
and
He knows what to
Yuji,
do.
they're probably gonna be stoic and probably push on, but like that is their that's their dad in a sense. Like um
Yeah. Well, their savior, and
their
he's
savior,
gone.
like if of like a father mentor figure such as Nanami, when like Nanami died, like what that did to Yuji's psyche. Imagine what losing Gojo's gonna do to him. Especially as also since Gojo had always been saying, "Oh, I'm the strongest. Oh, I wouldn't lose." That sort of thing. Like what that what that does to Yuji. Like is Yuji gonna have like an Ichigo moment from Bleach of just it's over. Like there's nothing we can do. Like we're done.
Mhm.
I mean, he's probably still
I
gonna go have that like hero mindset of we have to try, but he's still in the back of his head. Like that could be an interesting thing of like part of him saying we have to keep pushing forward, and the other half's like it's gone. Like there's no chance. Like we can't do this anymore.
Yeah. I'm in the boat that like um Yuji's gonna just fight Sukuna with that same mentality that he had when he took over Megumi's body of just like
I
waiting
have to kill. Like you
right
are.
here.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot you're a curse. Like that sort of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be sick to
That
see the
that whole
cog.
thing.
That
Yeah.
just makes me want to see this Sukuna fight, Maki and Yuji. Like that fight
Yeah.
again. Oh, it looks so cool.
I know, it would have been really
Because I
fun.
was kind of hoping to see Maki instead of Hikari, and then she could have her little rematch with Arame.
I
But
know, that's what I wanted as well. We talked about that a lot on the
yeah,
podcast. So it's just sad that it's not happening, but my argument is that Maki has to like pull up hard. Like I would like to see her even just fight Kenjaku.
I
Um,
think like narratively, like we've talked about before, narratively, it's the way to end Kenjaku is someone without a curse technique to kill him.
oh yeah, that whole thing of like it's either optimizing or getting rid of.
Because
I think that would be a
if
really
you're
good
also talking about
solution.
getting rid of it, yeah, Yuji has cursed energy, but like Yuji killing him without a cursed technique of his own could be good too. Yes, he has cursed energy, of
Yeah.
course, but like
Yeah, but with Yuji already has a curse technique now with
Yeah.
the whole thing.
So it doesn't
It's
really
like
work
body
out.
swap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean that'd be fire. Just like Yuji just swaps bodies with Kenjaku for a second, and is like, "All right, lay into me, Maki." Maki just beats the shit out of the body swap.
um,
Like, oh, that'd be so
or
cool.
we see Yuji and Maki could be the ones to go fight Kenjaku. Kenjaku or Yuji and Yuji, because he's been bathed in Sukuna's cursed energy. This is when he uses Kenjaku or Sukuna's, if it is his like stealing of a cursed technique. Yuji starts stealing Kenjaku's techniques he's gained over the years, like the gravity one. Like Kenjaku tries to use it, he's like, what? He's like,
People.
what? Where is it? Like it's gone.
Yeah,
Then he takes like curse manipulation, and since he took over Naruto Shikamo, blood manipulation's gone. Like he's all of what it would be cool to see all of what Kenjaku has worked towards getting taken away by something he created.
yeah,
I think narratively that would also cool, and then that's when Maki could actually finish him off.
yeah. I'm just excited to see how this goes. I
Yeah.
think that'd be perfect. Uh, too many ideas.
I think we're straying a little further away from the current chapter,
Yeah,
but there's not
just made
much.
a lot.
I mean, it's just
Yeah,
the fight starting. There's not a whole lot to talk about with the new fight.
yeah.
So Baby got his rattle back. Like
Yeah, that's it. Just baby got his rattle back.
the goat, the smoke demon got. We see the smoke demon's technique. Like,
Yeah.
and we saw Glorious Hikari pull up in his brand new. Like he went to Foot Locker right before this, bought a new pair of Jordans. Out fresh out the box. Like I showed you
Yeah.
the edited manga panel of like it's like you increasing these.
Yeah.
I'll moonwalk over you. Like, oh, I want to see Hikari emote on Urame again. Like I loved what he did that to Kashimo.
Yeah.
So
Uh, yeah. I think that this is a good point to end it.
Okay.
We're gonna keep on straying, and my theories are gonna keep on building up, and I need to save them for later.
yeah.
Um. So yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for listening to episode 44. Since we realized it's been a year,
Here.
we'll do something fun
Yeah.
with that, and we'll also probably post about maybe a plan for a special 50th one
Yeah.
or something. So yeah, well, thank you so much for listening to 44 of the Jumpcast. I've been Max, and I've of course been joined by
Nick.
yeah. So thank you so much. You guys have a good rest of your week, and yeah, we're not on break next week, so we'll jump right back into this fight next week.
Next week. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.